Hey guys, this is Big Nick here, and I'm here to give you another video today. This will be my second video of the new year here in 2018, and it is going to be my complete collection Blu-ray movies, a couple DVD movies because they're not on Blu-ray, DVD TV shows and Blu-ray TV shows, and a couple wrestling Blu-rays. They're all together. So yeah. Today's going to be the whole complete collection of that. As you can see, I'm not going to be doing it where I pull it out of the thing like this, just due to the fact of the way I'm going to have to film that. Filming the bottom two areas will be a little difficult because I have kind of no room in this area to bend down and then pull out and do it. So, and also the things that are on here are my wrestling things, as you can see there. That's Hogan from the Hulk Hogan DVD. So yeah, this is just, they're going to remain because I already did a video of them, so they're going to remain here. But the next time I do this video, will be the complete shelf, which will probably won't be again until maybe the next couple years or so. But maybe by then I'll have a better way of filming it. But as of right now, I'm just gonna do it while I take the things from here, go like mira, and so yeah, this is the complete Blu-ray / DVD, TV show, and movies collection, minus the DVD movies, all of them, because they're there. They're gonna get upgraded. So let's begin. First off, we have is a movie starring Kevin Costner, and that is 3 Days to Kill. Okay movie, kind of wasn't what I was expecting. Kind of felt more drama-ish than an action movie to me. That's just my opinion, but it's nice to have Kevin Costner in a random action movie, like the movie Criminal that came out, I believe, last year, which I do want to watch. There you go. So yeah, that is 3 Days to Kill. Next up is a movie I really do love, and that is 300. This is an upgrade, as this is an upgrade. I had it on DVD, upgraded it to Blu-ray. When it comes to 4K upgrades, I probably won't upgrade my Blu-rays to 4K. I mean, if I get 4Ks, it's just going to be to get the 4K / Blu-ray packs. That way I have the Blu-ray anyway, in case I ever get a 4K player or 4K TV, I already have it. But, yeah. So, yeah, that's 300. I do love this movie. Starring Gerard Butler, probably his best performance besides Law Abiding Citizen and, what's the other movie? Olympus Has Fallen, but nah, this is great. Love this movie, and the sequel is good. I have it on DVD, but I yet to upgrade it. But this one's the best. That's 300. Next up, we have is the first Marvel film, first superhero-related anything, and that is stars Paul Rudd, and that is Ant-Man. This movie really surprised me. I didn't expect it to be much, kind of like from Guardians of the Galaxy. Just expected it to be like, the middle tier, but actually this is one of the better ones I've seen. Kind of like how Black Panther. Kind of expect it to be the middle tier, but it's actually going to probably be better than most. So yeah, Ant-Man, I really do like this film. Paul Rudd does a good job as Ant-Man. Like seeing Paul Rudd in non-comedic roles. Next up, we have the first TV show, and just to say, you're going to notice that with my TV shows, I'm going to have some DVD and some Blu-ray, but it doesn't matter just as long as I have the entire show. And first up is Arrow Season 1. Love this show. This is my third favorite season. Oh, they're smacking him out in his abs. This is a great show. I know seasons 3 and 4 kind of, but seasons 1, 2, and 5 are whew. But yeah, if you haven't watched this, if you really just like a dark, gritty show, watch Arrow. Even if you aren't a comic fan, but if you really are a comic fan and just haven't watched it, watch it. The Arrowverse in general is great. Next up, we have on Blu-ray is Arrow Season 2, my favorite of the seasons. Everything is just great. Manu Bennett, who plays Slade Wilson, is probably the best villain in the Arrowverse. I say probably because there are two others that really do take that mantle. Well, I'll get to in a minute, but yeah, great season. Season 2. Then we have over here is Arrow Season 4, the worst of the series. This really didn't have that many great moments. Some of the best, if the best episodes happened in the early part of the year, of the season. Like the one with John Constantine crossed over, who was a part of the Arrowverse. If you didn't know that, from the Constantine TV show, it is a part of this world. So, yeah, it's Arrow Season 4. Then we have the savior of the Arrow, and that is Arrow Season 5. The main villain in this, Prometheus, did a hell of a job. They said the villain that Arrow needed. Season 6, to me, it's been off to a good start. Many people have been complaining about it. They're just nitpickers, in my opinion. Season 6 has been fine. Season 5, great. Season 2, great. And Season 1, great. Season 6 has a ways to go to get to great, but it's still very fine. I do recommend it. Then we have a movie I just recently saw yesterday, and that is Atomic Blonde. It was a good, fun watch. I see people when they talk about the movie's kind of slow in the middle, and it was slow in many parts, but still a good, fun watch fun watch. Charlize Theron and James McAvoy, they do good jobs in these movies. In that movie. So yeah, that's Atomic Blonde. Next up we have is one of the classic, action movies of all time, starring Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, and that is Bad Boys. I know there's a 2-pack. I probably will end up getting the 2-pack, and then just giving this to someone I know who wants it. So yeah, that is Bad Boys. Great one. Very, very, very good action movie. The second one's my favorite. Probably the best one of the two. That's Bad Boys. Next up we have is a steelbook, and that is Batman Begins. Great movie. Love this steelbook. Just love the feel of it, and I actually do enjoy the artwork. Some people don't like the artwork, but I do. I like how it just has Batman coming at you with all the bats in the background. And I like the coloring of this. This like dusk feel to it, like with the lighting. Because Batman would come out at night and dusk, you know. So yeah, that's Batman Begins. Then we have is Batman Mask of Phantasms, my favorite of the animated DC movies. This movie just has everything in it you could want. I just recently rewatched this yesterday and felt great, especially hearing Mark Hamill as the Joker and Kevin Conroy as Batman. It's just great. Next up we have is another DC animated movie, and that is Batman Under the Red Hood. And, another great DC animated movie. John DiMaggio does a great job as the Joker. If you don't know John DiMaggio, he plays Bender. He's the voice of Bender on Futurama. And Jensen Ackles, I believe, was the one who played the Red Hood, and you know him as one of the two halves of the Supernatural brothers. But yeah, this is a very good watch. I recommend this one and Mask of Phantasms. Next up we have is another DC. So it's been a lot of DC at the beginning. If you didn't catch, I'm a big DC fan. I love Marvel too, but DC is more of my childhood for me. That's why I have more. And that is B vs. S, Batman vs. Superman. I liked it. It wasn't the greatest movie ever. The 30 minutes did make it better, but I did like it. I did enjoy it. I mean, it's not the greatest movie ever, but it is a fun watch for me. Next up, we have another TV show, and that is The Big Bang Theory Season 4. This is one of my favorite comedies ever. This is probably my favorite season. I would have to rewatch the other seasons, but this is great. Fun. It's a funny show. If you haven't watched The Big Bang Theory, just go watch it. Then we have, again, for Big Bang Theory, the complete 7th season. As I said, DVD and Blu-ray doesn't matter just as long as I have it. Another great season. This show is just funny. There's not that many words I can say for how much I love this show. One of my favorite sitcoms ever. Probably go down as like one of the last great sitcoms made on TV. As you can see in the background, there's another great one playing. And there was a comedy I really like, and that is starring Martin Lawrence in Big Mama's House 2. I love the first two. The third one I'm not a fan of. It goes 2 and 1 for me as my favorites. This is a funny movie. I do love it. Not that many people like the Big Mama movies, but if you just want to watch Martin Lawrence dressed in drag and be funny, watch this. I mean, if you watched it in Martin. Next up, we have the DVD. It's a movie, but because as of right now, it is not on Blu-ray to the best of my knowledge. So someone let me know that if it is, and that is, it says it's better than Biker Boys. Better than Fast and the Furious, and that is Biker Boys. I saw it once. It's an okay watch for me. Lawrence Fishburne and Derek Luke do a good job in it, but it's an okay watch for me. That's Biker Boys. It's pretty much Fast and the Furious, but on bikes. Next up we have is a TV show, and that is Black Sails Season 1. Phenomenal, great show. Probably the best one that Starz has ever done. Probably because I love Spartacus. But yeah, Black Sails is very good. If you haven't watched this, I recommend it. It's probably one of the best underrated TV shows ever. I have about maybe one more of those in here. Next up we have is a Marvel movie, and that is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This is definitely my favorite one of the Captain America movies. It goes Winter Soldier, Civil War, and then First Avenger. Phenomenal movie. This is the first Marvel movie I bought on Blu-ray. It's just phenomenal. It's a great movie. It's one of my favorites in the Marvel Cinematic, in the MCU. Number one is still Avengers as of right now. Next up we have is Captain Phillips. Another great movie. Tom Hanks does a beautiful job in this movie. Does a great job in this movie. Tom Hanks really never releases a bad movie. I noticed that with Tom Hanks. He just does great movies and great performances year round. So yeah, that's Captain Phillips. Very good watch. I got this at my Rite Aid for like $7. Next up we have is a movie that I just recently got. It will be in my next update. So I'm just going to show it in here because it's a part of the collection. It won't be in my next... I have 3 in here. This is one of them. Will not be seen in the next update until like toward the middle of the year. So it's kind of an early preview of them. And that is The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Love this movie. And, right there, Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. These two I love so much to the point where that I really can't pick a favorite out of these two. They're even, in my opinion, literally tied as for greatness. I love them both so much. So yeah, there's the Chronicles of Narnia. If you haven't seen the Chronicles of Narnia, go watch it. Phenomenal movies. Next up we have is one of the three that I said I recently got, and that is starring Nick Cage, John Malkovich, and John Cusack, and that is Con Air. Great movie. Love this movie. It's phenomenal movie. Probably Nick Cage's best performance besides National Treasure and Face Off. Definitely my favorite performance of Nick Cage is in this one. Great movie. I just love this movie so much. I remember watching it years ago. Next up we have is an underrated movie from Mark Wahlberg, and that is Contraband, also starring Kate Beckinsale. I love this movie a lot. It's probably one of Wahlberg's more underrated roles because it doesn't get talked about as much, and it should really get some more of the recognition it deserves. This is a great movie. I love Wahlberg, and this is rated R, right? Yeah, Wahlberg and rated R films because it just feels more genuine. Wahlberg feels more genuine in rated R films. Next up we have is a horror film, and that is Cult of Chucky. Great movie. I really did love this. I love this one. It's my second favorite of the series, as I said in my recent video. It goes Child's Play, Cult, and then Curse. Then Child's Play 2. This is a great movie. It's great to see Brad Dourif back as, well, his voice back as Chucky. It's a great movie. Really recommend that. Next up we have is my favorite movie of all time, starring Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Heath Ledger, Gary Oldman, and that is The Dark Knight. This movie's phenomenal. It's probably the best. It's definitely still today the best superhero movie made, in my opinion. This stands the test of time when it comes to the superhero movies. Even with all the stuff that Marvel has been releasing, this is still, in my opinion, the best one out of all of it. Christopher Nolan did a phenomenal job with this trilogy, with Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises, which I don't own yet, but I will. So that is The Dark Knight. This one was also an upgrade. I had it on DVD, upgraded it to Blu-ray. Not gonna do it to 4K. Just no point. Well, I might. This might be the only movie I would get 4K and then find someone to do with this. But I love this movie so much. It's my favorite movie, and that's The Dark Knight. And next up we have is a sci-fi movie, and that is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Great movie. Love this trilogy. I liked Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I love Dawn. I have yet to see War. I know I'm going to love War, but right now this is a great, great movie. It's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Next up we have is a movie that doesn't get talked about, especially for the actor, especially for the main star, and that's Ethan Hawke, and that is Daybreakers. This is a great movie for him, especially vampire-wise. This is probably his best performance, if you exclude Training Day and that horror movie, which is name I forget. This is a great movie. It's a vampire flick. It's not like a horror vampire. It's like a vampire drama action type thing. But yeah, that's this one. Ethan Hawke, of course, is a vampire. And so is Sam Neill. Willem Dafoe's a human. Yeah, this is a great movie. I really do recommend this. Next up we have is another Marvel movie. Marvel's first rated R film, and it's just greatness. And that is Deadpool, starring Ryan Reynolds. It's a great movie. This is not really that many words I could say about Deadpool. It's just so great, so funny, so brutal. Can't wait for Deadpool 2. And even though Disney did buy Fox, which means stuff like this and the X-Men movies are now owned by Disney, but it won't get ruined because this is going to remain rated R. It's just so beautiful. Hopefully Deadpool 2 can live up to all that hype it has. Next up we have is another TV show, and that is Destination Truth Season 1. These are like these exploration reality type shows where they go out looking for like ghosts and mythical creatures. I enjoy some of these shows. Just for me, it's just entertaining to watch some of these, and this one's like one of my favorites from Sci-Fi. So yeah, Destination Truth. It also costs like $3 at Big Lots, so might as well. Next up we have another show I really do love, and that is Season 1 of Dexter on Blu-ray. Great show. Season 1 is my favorite. It goes Seasons 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 6, 7, and then 8. So yeah, Dexter Season 1, this is my favorite season. I've watched this season at least 5 times. It's just great. And then we have on DVD is Dexter Season 5. Not that many people like this one. I do enjoy this one. It's not the greatest, but it's still an enjoyable watch for me. Yeah, the reason why I got this one is due to the fact that it was the cheaper one that was there, so that's why I just said get this one. I've seen pretty much. The only thing I've yet to see is season 8, and I know I'm not gonna be the biggest fan of it. Okay, next up we have is one of the all-time classic movies ever, and that is Die Hard, starring Bruce Willis. Great movie. It's one of the first time I saw this was when I bought it on Blu-ray. I said, you know what, just get it and watch it. What the hell? And I really do enjoy watching this movie. It's a fun watch. Definitely Bruce Willis's best role. Next up we have is a Disney movie, and it's very underrated and very undervalued, especially in the time period it came out, which was 18 years ago, 2000. So that's kind of why. And that is Dinosaur. I love this movie. When I was a kid, there were a few things I really enjoyed watching. That was Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and dinosaur movies. And this one was like the main one. Great watch. I love this movie a lot. Recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's definitely one of Disney's like underrated and undervalued movies. Next up we have is another action movie starring Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained, one of Quentin Tarantino's masterpieces. This is a great movie. I love watching this movie. It's one of the longer movies that I really do enjoy watching, and it's really fun watch. It's everything you expect from Tarantino. Okay, next up we have is an anime, and that is Season 3 of Dragon Ball Z, my favorite anime. I've said enough great things about this. This is my favorite season right here. We have Frieza just blasting people. Season 3 of Dragon Ball Z. Then we have Season 5 of Dragon Ball Z. Season 6 of Dragon Ball Z. I bought this was bought years ago. As you can see the wear and tear on it. That's why I still own it on DVD. I'm not going to upgrade Season 6 to Blu-ray. I'm just going to keep this big brick. And besides, Goku's going to blast you. And wrapping up DBZ is Season 8 of DBZ. Just great. Just a great anime. Definitely the best, in my opinion, the best anime ever. Next up we have is a movie called Aragon. Really the only two big names are John Malkovich and Jeremy Irons. I did like Jeremy Irons' performance in this movie. So for me, it's an enjoyable watch. Many people, it got really critically panned because, in my opinion, many people compared it to Lord of the Rings. That's why it got really did over. But it's an okay watch, not the greatest movie, and it's like if I recall, it's a PG fantasy film, so the violence is kind of toned down. But yeah. Okay, next up we have is Family Guy Volume 6. Family Guy is one of the greatest shows, one of my favorite shows ever, and it's one of the best comedies ever. That, I believe, is the end of Season 5 and beginning of Season 6. Next up we have is 3 movies of the Fast and the Furious franchise. So here's the first one, The Fast and the Furious, the original. Good watch, really do like this one. Then we have Too Fast, Too Furious. I do like this one more than the original. Not that many people like this one. I really did like this one, and it's the one that did introduce us to Tyrese's character and Ludacris's character. So that is Too Fast, Too Furious. And finally, we have is Fast 5. Probably my favorite of the series. This is a great one. I saw this first on TV, and it's the one that introduced us to The Rock's character. Great movie, great series. I believe this one and I'd say the fourth one and this one is what changed the movie from just a racing movie to like a heist franchise. So that is Fast 5. Next up we have is a TV show, and that is The Flash, Season 1 on Blu-ray. This is a phenomenal show, phenomenal season right here. I recommend this. Part of the Arrowverse, like Arrow. So it's Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. I don't own those 2 yet, the other 2, but I will intend on probably getting them soon. But yeah, this is a phenomenal season. The Reverse Flash is probably the best Flash villain ever. Then we have is The Flash Season 2 on DVD. Love this season a lot. Zoom, I think, does a great job as the villain. I think Zoom's a very good villain. He kind of gets some hate toward the end, but, you know, it's a comic book TV show. Everything's not going to be consistent. And then we have Flash Season 3, the weaker of the 3. It's definitely weak compared to... I mean, this show has a lot of great episodes. There's at least 6, I believe, in here. They're great, great episodes. But the whole season and total is what really derails it. Still enjoyable at some parts, but the rest of it really, especially the finale. Next up we have is a Flight starring Denzel Washington. I still have yet to watch this one. I do intend on watching this one soon. I heard great things about this movie, and I just know it's going to be great because it's Denzel. Next up we have is a horror movie, and that is Freddy versus Jason. I love this movie. It's just fun. It's just fun to watch Freddy and Jason go back and forth. It's fun to watch Robert Englund as Freddy, like, curse people out. That's why I like Freddy Krueger, the Robert Englund Freddy at least. And it's fun. And it's fun. I just like watching them fight a lot. It's just funny. So yeah, that is Freddy versus Jason. I do love that movie though. Hey, next up we have another TV show, and that is season 2 of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Classic, phenomenal comedy. It's one of the greatest TV shows ever. I have 3 seasons of this. I do intend on owning the entirety of it soon, but this is just phenomenal. I love this show. Season 2. Then we have season 3 of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Another great season. Really, I think the weakest season of Fresh Prince was probably its last season. I mean, it was still funny, but I think that was probably the weakest, but every other one is really great. Maybe the first one was a little weak. Next up we have it, and then we have Fresh Prince of Bel-Air season 4, and that is all the Fresh Prince. Another great season. It's just Fresh Prince, man. Classic. Now we have another classic comedy, as well TV show, and that is Friends season 4 and Friends season 5. This is my favorite Friends season right here. This season has my favorite Friends episode. The episode where they're doing the trivia and whoever wins they switch apartments. That's just I know then almost everything by heart. I've seen that episode so many times. I just love that season so much. Or that episode at least. Next up we have another TV show, and this is my favorite TV show ever. Just clean that brick off. And it is this brick of Game of Thrones season 1. I don't have to go into much detail about this, do I? It's Game of Thrones. This is season 1. Still one of my favorite Game of Thrones seasons, even though Lord Eddard Stark is no longer with us. Spoiler alert. Then we have Game of Thrones season 2. Another great season. Love this one. I just love this show. It's just so great. And the fact that I had to wait till 2019 for the final season. And then finally, we have is Game of Thrones season 6. Probably my favorite of the Game of Thrones seasons. And I just love this lenticular. You hear that, right? This one in black sails. Wait, see if you can hear that? Had like the same type of feel to it. Lenticular feel to it. And I just love it. So yeah, season 7 was great too. Next up we have is another is a classic movie, and that is Goodfellas. This is a really good movie. I've really only seen it once because it's a longer film, and I do enjoy it. But it's probably a movie I just watch it randomly. Leonardo, De Niro, Liotta, and Pesci do great jobs in here. Next up we have is probably The Rock's best movie ever, and that is Gridiron Gang. Love this movie. This is my opinion, his best movie. Many people probably say Fast and the Furious movies, but no, this is his movie. This will always be The Rock's #1 movie. Great football movie and great movie just in general. Next up we have another TV show, and that is season 1 of Hannibal. Really did enjoy this season. It's one of the shows I wanted to watch, and saw this at my Rite Aid for like $10. Had to get it. It was brand new and everything, and it's great. Really do enjoy it. I have to watch the other seasons. Next up we have another TV show that is Tyler Perry's House of Pain Volume 1 and Tyler Perry's House of Pain Volume 4. This show is getting its resurrection in a couple weeks. And I really did love this show. It's probably Tyler Perry's best creation minus Medea. This is a phenomenal show. If you really having fun, it is really funny. I mean, it has its drama moments like all Tyler Perry things, but the comedy is really funny. Curtis is definitely one of my favorite characters, and that's the father. Okay, next up we have another classic. One of my favorites is my childhood, and it's a Christmas movie, and that is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinchmas edition. I love this movie so much. It's probably my favorite Christmas movie, not named Home Alone or Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just great. Jim Carrey does a great job as the Grinch, in my opinion. That's the Grinch. Next up we have another horror film, classic one of the late 90s and early 2000s, and that is I Know What You Did Last Summer. I've seen it a few times. It's an okay watch for me. It's not the greatest horror movie ever, but it's still sometimes enjoyable. I mean, it has pretty much everyone you'd expect in a late 90s and early 2000s teen movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr., and Ryan Phillippe. Ryan Phillippe, who still really is the only one doing things, really doing anything, and he does a great job in Shooter. Next up we have is another sci-fi movie and one of the classics of Will Smith's career. I, Robot. Love this movie a lot. Probably my favorite Will Smith movie. Yeah, you know, I'll go and say this is probably my favorite Will Smith movie. No, I'm lying. Yeah, second, because the other one is Men in Black. This is a great movie. I love this movie a lot, and it's really good for Will Smith. Will Smith just has done a lot of great movies in his career. Next up is a movie you don't really hear about, especially for the actors involved in Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. You really don't hear about it, and that is Interview with a Vampire. This is a kind of like a, how would I say, like a biopic slash history type thing of the vampire of these two. Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise are the vampires involved. It's kind of an okay watch. I mean, I saw it once. I was like, okay, this is something watchable, and I got it like at a flea market with Daybreakers for combined like what, $3. So next up we have is a TV show, and it's the newest and last one of the three I told you about, and that is Marvel's Jessica Jones season 1. I have yet to see. I saw like the first couple of episodes, but I didn't finish it. That's why I bought it too. I intend to finish Jessica Jones when I go into it watching it. All I know is Marvel has done a great little job in their little shared universe on CW. Oh, not CW. That's Arrowverse on Netflix. Just like the Arrowverse, so they've really shown you can have your own little superhero like universe of TV shows. Okay, next up we have is John Wick. Great movie. And its brother, John Wick 2, phenomenal movies. Definitely my favorite definitely Keanu Reeves' defining career performances is John Wick. Phenomenal movies. Love them both. This is like Chronicles of Narnia. They're tied for me. I really can't pick a favorite. Next up we have is a DC animated movie, and that is Justice League Dark. Good watch, really enjoyable watch. Definitely not one of the best ones they've done, but really good. Better than Batman. Definitely one of the better ones that's not going to get talked about, and that is Justice League Dark. Next up we have is a double feature, and that is Kill Bills Volume 1 and 2. Again, Quentin Tarantino's masterpieces. I did enjoy both of them. I enjoyed the second one more than the first one, but that's just me. That's Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 in the double feature. Next up we have one of my favorite movie I really love watching, and that is Kingsman: The Secret Service. Great movie. Just love everything about this movie. I explained some of that in my other video, but it's just great. Can't wait to watch the second one. Next one we have is a DVD of a movie that's pretty much from my childhood. I don't know if this is on DVD because I've seen this series on Blu-ray, but I don't know if this one specific is on it. And that is The Land Before Time. I think that's 7. The Stone of Cold Fire, which is a comet. I love the Land Before Time series. It's something that's near dear in my heart as a child. As I said, and when I was a kid, I loved anything dinosaur related. So yeah. Next up we have is probably my favorite Tom Cruise movie, and that is The Last Samurai. Love this movie. It's a long movie again, but I do enjoy watching it. Love the samurai feel of it. It's just very good. It's a very good watch. If you haven't watched this, really do watch this. It's definitely one of Tom Cruise's best performances. The next we have is my favorite Disney film of all time. One of Disney's greatest releases ever. The Lion King, the Diamond Edition. I love The Lion King. It's my favorite Disney movie. It's just everything. It's just great in here. This is just greatness. Next up we have a sci-fi movie starring Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and that is, and Emily Blunt, and that is Looper. Really good movie. Probably Bruce Willis' best performance as old Bruce Willis. Great movie. It's a very good watch. Sci-fi action movie. It's very good. I really do recommend you haven't watched this one. Next up we have is another 2 movies. I'm missing the second one, and I have the second one on DVD. Don't have it on Blu-ray yet. And that is Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring and Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Phenomenal movie series. This is my favorite. Then it goes in like this: 3, 2, 1. Great movies. I did enjoy this one a lot. This one's my favorite, and Two Towers is right in the middle. So it's pretty much the exact same thing, just reversed. Great movies. Next up we have a TV show, and that is Martin Season 2. Martin is another classic comedy, sitcom, classic TV shows. Martin Lawrence is just great in this. Martin's just funny. It's just really funny. Next up we have another comedy. This is a movie, classic comedy, starring Jim Carrey. My favorite Jim Carrey movie. And that is The Mask. It's great. I love this movie. I hate The Son of the Mask. Rewatching as I got older. I didn't like it, so I gave it away. But this is great. Classic. My opinion, Jim Carrey's best movie. Next up we have initially we have Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black 2. I don't own the first one or the third one yet. but this is my favorite. It goes 2, 1, 3. I like this one more than the first one. Not that many people do, but in my opinion, this is my favorite. Men in Black. Men in Black is one of my favorite movie franchises ever. Next up we have is an animated movie, and it's a very good one for the time it came out, and that is Monster House. I did enjoy watching this when it came out about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, actually 12 years ago, so I was about, what, 9 when it came out? Maybe 10. So, yeah, this is a very good watch, especially if you like random animated movies. It's very interesting. It's not like a traditional animated movie. Next up we have is another movie, is my first Blu-ray buy out of the Walmart 788 bin, and that is The Mummy, the deluxe edition. Love the Mummy franchise. For my opinion, my favorites go second one, Mummy Returns, Dragon Emperor, then this one. Brendan Fraser does a great job in this movie. Sad he never doesn't do anything anymore. Next up we have is Nick Cage starring in National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. This is my favorite one of the two of them. It's this one than the first one. I love this. I love the National Treasure movies and Disney, of course. Next up we have is a TV show, and that is 3 seasons of one of my favorite shows ever. So here is season 2 of NCIS. Phenomenal show. Love this so much. Started watching it a couple years ago, and it's already pretty much one of my top 5 TV shows. It's season 2, season 3, and season 4 of NCIS. So I have the seasons 2 to 3 of NCIS. Well, 2 to 4, I mean. Season 3 is my favorite season, period. Everything in that season just works. It's comedy, it's drama, it's action. Everything just fits in that season. It's just phenomenal. Watch NCIS if you haven't. Okay, next up we have is one of the all-time Disney classics, one of my favorites, and that is The Nightmare Before Christmas, the 20th anniversary edition. This is just a classic movie. I just saw this again yesterday. It looked very good on Blu-ray. Like, it looked very good. That's Nightmare Before. It's just a great movie. If you haven't watched it, go watch this now. Definitely one of my favorite Disney films ever. Next up we have is the collector's edition of Notorious. I enjoyed this one. It's not as good as Straight Outta Compton. I really did enjoy that one, but this one, I think it deserves better recognition than it gets. So this is actually a good watch for me. Next up we have is WWE Blu-ray. I'm showing them this because I didn't show them in the other collection video, and that is the best of NXT's The Greatest Matches. I love this one. I love NXT. This one I really did enjoy. This was the first WWE Blu-ray I bought. You know the second one. Great buy. I got this for like $20 off Amazon. Especially since I think WWE isn't doing Blu-rays anymore. Next up we have is a great comedy, and that is The Other Guys, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Said Wahlberg and Rated R Films it just feels more genuine, and these two have great chemistry together. Can't wait. I really want to watch the two Daddy's Home movies. Wahlberg and Ferrell, I think, have like some of the best chemistry ever. They just work well together. Next up we have is Mel Gibson in The Patriot, the extended cut. I do like this film. It's really good. I like these time films, like war films. I do like these because I kind of got into it in high school and liked history, and that's one of the movies my teacher made us watch along with The Last Samurai, and I like them both. So, yeah. Great movie. Heath Ledger's in there, and he does a good job. Okay, next up we have a TV show, and I said one of the underrated TV shows like Black Sails, and that is Penny Dreadful Season 1. Another drastically underrated. Eva Green does a great job, and so does Josh Hartnett. I think that's his name. Where are you? Yeah, Hartnett. He does a great job. Someone you saw a lot in the early 2000s disappears and then reappears in this. Great show. It's critically underpinned, like underrated, like what's that thing? Black Sails. Okay, next up we have is John Travolta in Phenomenon. Got this with my Disney movie rewards. Watched it once. Can't really remember anything great about it. I kind of regret getting it. Next up we have is Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. This is one of my favorite movie franchises ever. This is my favorite one. Not that many people like this one. I love it. At World's End, I'm going to get Curse of the Black Pearl, which I have on DVD, and Dead Man's Chest, and then Dead Man Tells No Tales. So in order it goes At World's End, Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, and then of course On Stranger Tides, because I have yet to see Dead Man Tells No Tales, but I will see it soon. But yeah, this is my favorite one. And that also was an upgrade for me because I had it on DVD. Next up, we have Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. It's not great, but I do enjoy watching it. It's not a great watch. It's not a great movie, but it's enjoyable for me to watch just because I love seeing Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. It's just great. Next up, we have is Pokemon the Movie 2000. Love this with all my soul. This is my favorite one of the Pokemon movies. This is my childhood wrapped up in one. I've seen this movie so many times. Then we have Pokemon Heroes the movie. These two I have seen. They are on Blu-ray, but they're in like packs. This one's with like 3 other movies. This one's with the first 3. So I just went and got. I've had this one for years, and this one I just got last year. I just said screw it, I'm just gonna keep them. I'm not gonna get those Blu-rays anyway. So next up we have is Pokemon Totally Togepi. This is just like when they released those random things in the early to mid 2000s of TV shows. They just grab a few episodes from a season and just be like, here, let's release it on DVD. This one has like what, 4 episodes on it maybe, I think. This is the original Pokemon anime, by the way. Next up we have is a TV show, and that is Riverdale. Really good show. Yeah, really good show, as I said in my other video. Childhood icon for someone my age. Cole Sprouts, Zach and Cody. This one's Cody. Really good show. I do recommend this one if you really do like this type of stuff. Next up we have is The Rock and Sean William Scott in The Rundown. This one I didn't even know was a Rock movie until I just randomly saw it. Like, hey, screw it, get it. It's an enjoyable watch. I've only really seen it once, but it's an okay, enjoyable watch. So yeah, it's The Rundown. It's kind of an action comedy. Next up, he has one of the all-time classic movies ever, and that is Scarface Steelbook. This is the 2 of the 3 steelbooks I own. This is a great movie. Hold up. Yeah, this is a great movie. I love these steelbooks, this little comic book style steelbooks. No interior artwork, but this one did come with a Blu-ray and DVD combo. This is a great movie. It's classic. What's his name? Yeah, Al Pacino. Tony Montana, that's the character name. I thought I had it backwards. Okay, next up, he has another TV show, and that is Scream, the TV series, season 1. I enjoy the show. It's a show that really no one watched, I think due to its time slot on Tuesdays at 10 during the summer, so of course it was really going to get ignored. I'm still waiting for them to release season 2. I mean, where you at, man? Give me my season 2. Let me move this over. Next up we have is Seven, starring Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, and Kevin Spacey. Yes, I know Kevin Spacey, no one likes to watch any of his films anymore, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna watch the movie. This is a great movie. It's a phenomenal movie. It's definitely one of the best thrillers ever made. Next up we have is a TV show that gets another one that's very underrated in my opinion, and that is Shameless, season 1. It's my favorite of the seasons. Shameless is a great TV show. Everything you expect from a show named Shameless. Definitely everything you get. Don't fall. Okay. Next up we have is season 1 of the Shannara Chronicles, a show I really did like that came out last year along with Scream. This here says MTV, but it's no longer on MTV. Shannara Chronicles is now on Spike, which is supposed to change to Paramount. Season 2 was a lot better than this one, but this one was really good, and it's very bloody for a TV show that's TV 14. Not TVMA, it's not TVMA, TV 14. It's very gory. So next up we have is on DVD, and that is Shark Tale. This one I know does not have a Blu-ray. I have searched everywhere. It's only on DVD, which is a shame. I love this movie. It's great. Will Smith, Robert De Niro, Renee Zellweger, Angelina Jolie, Jack Black, and Martin Scorsese all in one film. It's a very good movie. I like Will Smith's character. That's this one right here. This is Angelina Jolie's character, De Niro's, Jack Black's, and Zellweger's, and Scorsese's the Blowfish. It's just a great movie to watch. Just a fun watch. I recommend this one if you like watching animated movies. In my opinion, that one rivals Finding Nemo. Next up we have is Shooter, starring Mark Wahlberg. I'm a big Wahlberg fan. I'm intending on owning a lot of his movies. I have this is already the 3rd one you've seen. Contraband, this, other guys, yeah. And I have, I think that's it for the Wahlberg movies. Yeah, I think all I own. Yeah, that's it. But I do intend on owning a lot of Wahlberg's movies. This is another great one, and this is actually a good one, and they turned it into a TV show, which I love the TV show. Great. It's already, I believe it's coming back for season 3. Can't wait. Then now we have here Slasher season 1. Was as seen on Chiller, now it's as seen on Netflix. This is a very good season. Very good horror style show. Kind of got me a couple of times. The main actress here, she's no longer a part of the show. She now does. She's now involved in the Arrowverse on Supergirl. But it's still a fun watch. I do recommend Slasher. Season 1 catches you by surprise because you're like, oh, and then Season 2 I've yet to see. I'm going to intend on watching it eventually. Okay, next up we have a Sleepy Hollow Season 1. I love this season. It's a shame what happened to the show, that the show just, that this dropped in quality from Seasons 2 and 3. Just a shame. I only saw a handful of episodes in Season 2, and I enjoyed those episodes. Those, I think, were the highlights of the season. And then everything else was just... Season 3 was complete horrible, was trash. And then Season 4 I enjoyed, but not that many people, I think, watched it because they moved it to Fridays. And that's what I think killed it. I enjoyed Season 4. I'm going to get Season 4 eventually, but yeah. Next up we have is classic Space Jam. Classic movie. I love this movie. I've watched it many times as a kid. Michael Jordan, it's just great. Space Jam. Next up is another classic action movie starring Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hooper, and Sandra Bullock in Speed. I did enjoy this movie. It's a really good one. This movie's made such an impact that NCIS in Season 3, like, they did something from Speed in here. I don't want to kind of, okay, you know when they did the tape loop of the security feed on the bus to distract Dennis Hooper? They did that in an episode of NCIS and said they got it from Speed. So, I like that. Next up we have my third and final steelbook, and that is Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. My favorite of the prequels. I like the artwork of this, like how General Grievous is the cover, and then on the back you have Darth Vader luring over Anakin and everyone, because this is what led Anakin becoming Vader. Like this steelbook, it's nice. They like these Star Wars steelbooks. They've been bringing them back out. I have to get the others soon. And for the final Star Wars movie I have is Star Wars The Force Awakens. Great movie. I really did love this one. It's definitely one of my favorites in the franchise, and probably one of the best movies you'll see in a while. And I do like this black case. Yeah, Star Wars The Force Awakens. Next up we have is Supernatural Season 1. Great show, really good show. Season 1 is great. This one I said Jensen Ackles is this one. He's the one who voices Under the Red Hood and Under the Red Hood. Really good show. Really do recommend this one. I mean, it's gone on for a while. It kind of loses some people, but it did regain people. But it's a really good watch. And of course, and this is the show that Negan came from. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Next up we have one of my favorite movies ever, and that is Liam Neeson in Taken. Great movie. Liam Neeson does a great job in this. I really wish they had just left it to this one instead of releasing 2 and 3. I mean, I did like 3 more than 2, but should have just left it at this one. This is a great movie. I love this movie a lot. This is my number 2 movie ever. So that's Taken. Next up we have one of the all-time classic action movies ever, and that is T2 Terminator Judgment Day. Yes, I know it got a 4K release, but I'm not going to get it. I already have it on Blu-ray. There's no point. Great movie. Probably, arguably the best action movie ever. And that is Terminator 2. Everything was done great, and the special effects were great, especially for the early 90s. Next up we have is a TV show. It is playing, well, it was playing in the background, and that is That 70s Show. So here's Season 1 of That 70s Show, Season 2 of That 70s Show, and Season 3 of That 70s Show. One of my favorite TV shows ever. Season 2 is my favorite season. I'd say Season 5 is probably my second favorite. This is just a great show. It's phenomenal. I love this show. And look, it's back on. There's Jackie. Great show. I recommend That 70s Show for anyone who hasn't watched it. Okay, we're getting down there. We're getting to it. We're at 40-something minutes in, and we still have a ways to go, but we're almost done. Next up, we have another anime, and that is Tokyo Ghoul Season 1. Really like this anime. It's a very good anime. Saw Season 2. It's great. Season 3 is coming out soon. I believe in April, but I'm really waiting for it. This is great. I love this season. Really recommend this if you like watching anime. Next up we have is Transformers Energon, The Return of Megatron. As I said, like with Pokemon, season of a show, grabbed episodes, released it on DVD. My friend actually had this. He was going to throw it away. I said, give me this now. Just give me this. I love the Transformers ones. I love the Transformers Armada, Energon, and Cybertron. This is my second favorite. There's Energon. Those are fun watches for Transformers. Next up we have is Season 6 of True Blood, this big brick. It's HBO and these bricks. I enjoy the True Blood show. This is the season I started watching it, that's why I have it. I've seen the majority of it, and I pretty much know what happens. So that is True Blood Season 6. Next up we have is The Streak, Undertaker The Streak 20-0. Showing this in my last one. I had to get it just because it's Undertaker. This is actually, I think, a decent one. I think it only cost me like $13 for this Blu-ray. When most of the WWE stuff is still very pricey, but yeah, this one's very good. Well, I haven't watched it, but I know it's gonna be. It's just pretty much. It's Undertaker 15-0, but better. 15-0 was horrible. Next up we have is a movie trilogy. I have 3 of the 5, and that is the Underworld movies. So here's Underworld, Underworld Evolution, and Underworld Awakening. I like the Underworld movies. It gets a lot of hate. I really do like it. My favorite, second favorite, third favorite. I'm not a big fan of Rise of the Lycans, and I got to see Blood Wars, but I will, and I have a feeling Blood Wars is just going to go right. I have a feeling Blood Wars is probably going to go right here. Might be my third, but these are my favorites. These are my favorites as of right now. I love this movie trilogy. Movie franchise. I don't have intentions on owning Rise of the Lycans unless I see it for like a couple dollars and just say, you know what, screw it. But yeah. Okay, next up we have is a TV show again. This is the last of the TV shows. The rest will just be movies. And that is The Walking Dead, Season 1, Season 3, and Season 5. But great show. My second favorite TV show ever behind Game of Thrones. Season 3 is my favorite season. This is my second favorite season. Then it's Season 2, 4, no, actually Season 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. 8's been off to a great start, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. But, yep, that is Walking Dead Seasons 1, 5, and 1, 3, 5. Next up we have is another movie that I know is only on DVD because I've looked for it on Blu-ray. It's like Shark Tale. It doesn't exist. And that is Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Love this movie. It's a great comedy. Martin Lawrence. This is one of his more underrated comedies. James Earl Jones, he's funny in it. Mike Epps, Michael Clark Duncan, Cedric the Entertainer. Everybody's funny in this movie. It's just a great watch. Next up we have is one of the best movies of 2017, and that is Wonder Woman. Phenomenal movie. Gal Gadot kicks ass as Wonder Woman, and it's just a great movie. I explained this in my last video, but I love this movie a lot. That's Wonder Woman. Next up we have is The Wrestler, starring what's his name, Mickey Rourke. Really great movie. I know that many people don't like it because it shows the dark side of wrestling, but we kind of know that nowadays. We know like the darker sides of wrestling, what these wrestlers go through and stuff. But it also kind of exposes wrestling business a little, but it doesn't matter to me. It's a very good watch. I recommend this one a lot. Next up we have is 2 X-Men movies, and that is X2 United and X-Men Days of Future Past, the Road Cut. This was an upgraded one. I had it on DVD when it first came out, but then I upgraded it to this one because I like this cool version with the little opening here and you can see all the X-Men. This one's definitely my favorite one of the X-Men movies. Then X-Men, then X2, then the first X-Men, First Class, and all the Wolverine stuff. I will do that later. Apocalypse I didn't finish. I saw most of it, but I didn't finish it. Oh yeah, I love these movies. These 2 are definitely great movies. Recommend them. And finally, to close out the entire video, is the final one. It is an anime movie, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions. This was seen in my last video, my collection update, and it's a great movie. I really do enjoy this a lot. Well, it's a good movie. It's not the greatest one ever. The best one will always be Pyramid of Light. This one I think is the second best out of all the other ones, especially Beyond Time. But this is a decent watch, especially since Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes back to its basic roots, not all the extra shit of Synchro and XCs, Pendulums, and Links. This is just Season 1 pretty much wrapped up in another movie. Really good watch. It's a good watch. I do recommend this. And that is it, guys. Thank you guys for sticking with me for pretty much 50 minutes, because we're almost there. Thank you guys for watching this. As I said, I did it this way, just because I couldn't show it that way, but yeah. That was my complete Blu-ray TV shows, movies, DVD, complete Blu-ray, DVD, movies, and TV shows. So as I said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys again for my Royal Rumble predictions. Bye.